down in trouble and you need a helping hand, and nothing, oh, nothing is going right. Just close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running, I'll come running just to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Now, ain't it good to know that you got a friend when people can be so, so cold? They'll hurt you and they'll desert you. They'll take your soul if you let them. Oh, but don't you let them. No, no. You just call out my name. Hey, no, wherever I am, I'll come running just to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. And I'll be there. Yes, I will. And I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend.
Good
morning, you guys.
How are you?
Great, how are you doing?
4 Sundays in a row.
I know.
Whoa. Well, let's just know that Teresa James is healthy and filled with vitality.
Yes. Her voice is gone right now, but it will be back.
I know. Oh, I forgot to put my mic on. I guess this is okay, right? You can hear me. Good morning. Welcome to the Granada Hills Center for Spiritual Living. That you came out in the rain today is a blessing, and we're pleased that you're here. We're very pleased you're here. For those who are watching on live stream in the comfort of their home in their pajamas, oh, well, it's okay. Any way we get you is how we get you. So I just want to let you know that next Sunday, Reverend Mike will be back for the second service. Yay. Yay, yes. And change is abounding. Change is abounding. We will be selecting a new board, and we will be doing all kinds of things that are a little bit different this year than we've done in the past. So Wayne, who is our presider practitioner this morning, give him a big hand, have him come forward. And we do lighting the flames of faith. It's our call to service. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from that one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. I almost said as Reverend Wayne. Oh my goodness. From my mouth to God's ears. As Wayne lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. The second candle we light for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for all forms of Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the ninth candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light the 10th candle for those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives and for the place we hold for them at our center, and as Reverend Mike would say, in our hearts. And as Wayne lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our soul. There is one flame, one light within.
Join me in this opening treatment, and I invite you to close your eyes if you wish. And as we center and know that God is that flame, that light shines brightly today and every day. And I know I'm one with that source, with that light. I know that I can always be present and in this now moment being that light for someone else. I know what the path is, and I trust and know in this place of oneness that the path is clear and it's filled with ease and grace. And I know this service unfolds in that right and perfect place, that our community is fully supporting both in person and in line. And I'm so grateful to be here today, to be in service, and grateful for this center and all of our practitioner corps and our ministers, our tech support, music, and each and every person that supports this community. And knowing these words have power, knowing it is all complete and done, I just release and let it go, knowing it's already complete. And together we say, and so it is. So several of us were at a practitioner symposium in Redondo Beach, so I did my talk on Friday. And as I was sitting down to write this talk, the word limitations came into my awareness. And I thought, really, limitations? Well, that should be a real peppy little talk. So in Science of Mind, I know there is no limitation, and that life, my life, has infinite potential. But why should we even be talking about limitations today? And then the other question I have is, why do I keep on seeing 10:10 on the clock? I see almost every night before I go to bed, I see the number 10:10, or even on Friday when I got back from grocery shopping, it was 10:10. Is this an ominous number? The number 10:10 is actually an angel number. Angel numbers, yes. And it is closely associated with personal growth and spiritual development. It serves as a sign I'm about to embark on a transformative journey of self-discovery and exploration. Well, okay, that's great. I'm still seeing the number 10:10. What's the reminder here? Is there more to this number of 10:10? And I found out, as I looked a little bit deeper into what 10:10 was, that it's also a sign, a reminder, that it's time to release old patterns and step into a higher version of myself. In other words, let go of those limitations. Okay, I got it. Today's to-dos list. 1, release old patterns. Check. 2, step into a higher version of myself. Okay, check. God, Spirit, universal energy, or whatever name you want to call it, is always talking to us. Whether it is angel numbers, whether it's somebody you're speaking to, or a song on the radio, God is always speaking to us. Ernest Holmes says, limitations are neither person, place, nor thing. Then Ernest says, in all caps, turn entirely away from the condition. Then he continues in regular type, or the limited situation to its opposite, to the realization of health, happiness, and harmony. Spiritual treatment starts with perfect God, perfect man, woman, and perfect being. I'm constantly amazed at how Spirit speaks to me. I was guided to page 186 in the SOM text. And of all people, Ernest Holmes was shouting at me in all caps to turn entirely away from the condition. Here's another quote from Evelyn Waugh. When we argue with our limitations, we can get to keep them. Ernest Holmes says, never look at that which you do not wish to experience. Look only what you want. And one more thing. That number 186, turns out that was also an angel number. The message says, use your manifesting tools such as prayer, positive affirmations, visualizations, and decrees to heal any fears, feelings, or negative emotions, to do anything to do with finances and career issues. Thank you, God. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, universal energy. The opportunities for personal growth are here now, and I trust and know the universe is supporting me in every step of the way. And to you, love, peace, and joy. And so it is.
You with the sad eyes. Don't be discouraged, though I realize it's hard to take courage in a world full of people. You can lose sight of it all, and the darkness inside you makes you feel so small. But I see your true colors shining through. I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid. Just let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Show me a smile then, and don't be unhappy. Just remember when I last saw you laughing. In this world, it makes you crazy, and you're taking all you can bear. You can just call me up, 'cause you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. Yes, I see your true colors. That's why I love you. Just don't be afraid to let them show your true colors. True colors are beautiful, like a rainbow. Makes you crazy, and you've taken all you can bear. Well, you just call me up, because you know I'll be there. And I see your true colors shining through. Yes, I see your true colors. That's why I love you. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, your true colors, your true colors. They're beautiful, like a rainbow.
Thank you. Announcements. Practitioners are available today in the treatment room for a 2-minute tune-up. If you're a licensed practitioner, please raise your hand. I see we have several here today. And also, you can find a practitioner also online at CSLGH.org. On Mondays, 6:30 to 9 p.m., From Whence We Came, an 8-week course featuring the teachings of Emerson and Tower. I guess, has this already started? Yes? Okay. So that's tomorrow at 6:30 to 9. And please check with Reverend Nancy and Andrea Rack for more details, or just call the center. Wednesdays, Sangha sessions have returned and are taking place from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The book they're doing this time is The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz. Check online. Also, it's with Vinu, and she's here today. And that, again, is Wednesdays, 9:30 to 11:30. On Wednesday, January 29th, Drumming Circle, facilitated by Burl. And let's see, what else? We have Thursday, Tai Chi, 11:30 a.m. to 12:30. Come and experience the benefits of added movement and flexibility. Thursdays, ongoing, 7 to 8 p.m. AA will be hosting a reoccurring open book study in the children's room, and it's open for anyone to attend. Contact Liz C. Number is also on board, or check with our center. And let's see, for those who are looking to donate to electronic form to the center, currently the best way is to use Support Our Center donate link on the CSLGH.org website, as we recognize other donation methods. So if you have any questions about how to donate, check with anyone. We're more than happy to point you the right way to donate and support the center. And next we have the gratitude box. And do we have, yes? So we have Beverly here, and she's going to read something from our gratitude box.
I'm grateful for.
Beverly, come to the microphone.
Thank you.
Don't be shy.
I'm grateful for the LA firefighters.
Yay. Good. Now, at this time, would you please stand for the Declaration of Principles? And together, we believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon the law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
Heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of me. Oh, the spirit and nature within and without. Now that I know that God's right here, right now. Yes, heaven's inside of me. Heaven's inside of you. Heaven's inside of you. Oh, the spirit and nature within and without. Now that you know that God's right here, right now. Yes, heaven's inside of you. Yes, heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us. Oh, the spirit and nature within and without. Now that you know that God's right here, right now. Yes, heaven's inside of us. Yes, heaven's inside of us. Heaven's inside of us.
All right, have a seat. So I'm happy to be here today on Reverend Mike's behalf, and as you know, our center honors all who are on their spiritual pathway, who practice their beliefs in faith and love. January is a significant month in the religious science movement, and it's because all over the country in every center for spiritual living and many of the independent churches who teach the science of mind, we review the first 4 chapters of the Roman numeral chapters of the Science of Mind textbook. And we find unique and individualized ways to give the same message year after year. I do not seem to have, oh yes, I do, never mind. We try to find different ways in which to express the same message year after year. the first 4 chapters are the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. Thank you, Mike Carlin, for helping me out with that. I get them all mixed up, and I make new ones every year for whatever reason. So I'm going to give a short review of the first 3 chapters because we are already finished with those. And it's kind of like a little refresher for all of us. The first week we talked about the thing itself. And the thing itself is God, Spirit, the universe, the force, or whatever name you personally give it. Sometimes people have a little difficulty with the word God. Father Leo Booth, who is a wonderful friend of mine, an Episcopal priest, he suggests that some of us grew up in an unhealthy and punishing religious community that may have subjected us to religious abuse. And he works very hard to dispel anything like that. He's long since retired, but he devotes most of his time to working with AA groups now. The word God is simply a placeholder. That's all it is. It's a placeholder for the indefinable. And when asked to define God, the ministers taking their oral panels for licensing would have to tell their panelists, I cannot define God. I can only define the nature of God. And I can't define Margie. I can't define Jen. I can only define the nature of them. You know, that's just the way it is with the thing itself. The second week, we moved into the way it works. The way Spirit works in our lives is through us, for us, and by us. That is just simply the way it works, what it does. And when we recognize it as a power greater than we are, there's just about nothing that we can't achieve. We cannot recognize that it is while believing it isn't. Our belief sets the limit of our demonstrations, and it's all up to us. The third week, in the shortest chapter of the 4, is what it does. Spirit can only do what we can take. How receptive are we to our good in life? How receptive are we? How much do we believe in optimum good health, in personal prosperity, in loving relationships, in having the right and perfect career employment? How much do we believe about that? The universe is impersonal, and it gives alike to all. So no one is discriminated against, but we are processed through a loving God that always says yes. Again, it's up to us to be the receivers. And as Emerson said, our job is to get our bloated nothingness out of the way of the divine circus. I know, doesn't that get a visual? I mean, it's just so wonderful. This is where we live to give, we learn to give and receive in kind. Because giving and receiving is a reciprocal law, right? We can't breathe in without breathing out. How many of us have tried to hold our breath underwater when we were kids at swimming? You know, pretty soon you have to come to the surface. Take a deep breath. So, this past few weeks has been a trying time on so many levels, and maybe our spiritual equilibrium has been sorely tested. Some of you may know that Ahia CSL in Pasadena has been very hard hit by the Eaton fire. Not the church itself, but the people who attend the church. 10 families lost everything. And they have been housing 6 of the families had found other places to be, but 4 families are living at the church presently. And they lost everything. They came away with just the clothing on their back, while I was only inconvenienced with $200 worth of frozen food going bad, while I couldn't watch my favorite TV shows, while I had no electricity. I mean, need I go on? My inconveniences were minuscule by comparison to the loss that people have suffered. People in Pacific Palisades, they couldn't even get their cars out because they had no electricity. So the cars burned up in the garage as well. And one of them that my kid's dad paid close attention to was an antique car owner who had a very large garage with several restored antique cars. The saddest part is the loss of life in Pasadena and Pacific Palisades. Pasadena alone, so far now, they found 17 people that did not get out of their homes or did not survive the fire. So it's hard to be seeing the good sometimes when making comparisons about what about this or what about that. The questions don't serve anyone. You know, what about this, what about that? You know, I'm reminded of a poem by Horatio Spafford. When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. Sweet, sweet short poem that I had to memorize as a kid. And, you know, it speaks volumes. You know, it is well with my soul. That's the part of us that feels disturbed in a way, I think. And I've talked to a lot of people from our center and people not at our center through this last week. Fortunately, I have cell service where I live. But to be able to console somebody is because I need to hear that message. It's really not about me fixing or changing anything for you. When somebody comes to me with a problem or an issue, I need to hear what I have to say. That's being coachable. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, one of the greatest difficulties in the new order of thought, is that we are likely to indulge in too much theory and too little practice. As a matter of fact, we only know as much as we can prove by actual demonstration. That which we cannot prove may or may not be true, but that which we can prove certainly must be and is the truth. Some of you know Barbara Cherney. She's part of our board of trustees here at the center. And we were having this wonderful conversation. I had mentioned to her that my book is at the publisher, and she said, what is it about? And I said, well, it's kind of like stories about life and about demonstration. So we were having this conversation. We were talking about our demonstrations. And I shared a story with her of an incident demonstration I had a few years ago. I had a Toyota Previa at that time, and it was used to haul football players and manure, and in stinky proportions, let me just put it that way. I washed the car every week. However, the Sunday my kid's dad used the car and he didn't wash it. I get in the car that morning and I think, oh my God, it just reeked. It was just awful. It was really ripe. That Monday, I was on my way to work, and my friend Margaret was coming to meet me for lunch that day. Margaret is my fastidious friend. There's a place for everything in her house and everything in its place. That's the way her life is. And I was going to drive us because she didn't know the area. I sat there at the front desk thinking, she's going to judge me because I have a dirty car. I made up a story, right? There wasn't a thing I could do about it, but ask for her forgiveness when she got in. But I sat at that front desk, and I started to work. And then I thought, wait, Margaret's coming to see me. She doesn't care about my car, so I surrendered it. I let it go. And the car was secondary. I let go and I let God. I'm not kidding. Not 30 seconds later, a guy poked his head in the door and said, I have a car detail. Anybody here need their car cleaned? 30 seconds later. True story, and forgive me if I've told it before. Now, Barbara Cherney's demonstration was far more dramatic. She was driving down the 5 freeway, I believe, and on the front seat of her car were a number of items that she needed to take into wherever she was going. And she wished she'd had the foresight to bring a plastic bag with her. At that very moment, a plastic bag on the freeway flew up in the air from the speed of the car in front of her, latched itself onto her left side rear view mirror on the car door. She rolled down the window and grabbed the plastic bag off and said, "Thank you, God." Both stories have cars in them and prove the consciousness or the soul of demonstration. I know those are silly things, right? But life is a tapestry of silly experiences like that. Oh gosh, did I not do this one? Oh, I hope I did. No, I didn't, apparently. Wait, where am I? Okay. Can we go back? Sorry, guys. We did that. Well, never mind. Okay, so there was a meme that I found on Facebook this week, and it said, "Consciousness lives on. The body is like a car, and the driver is the spirit. The bit of consciousness, the atom, the soul, you could say, and so the car gets old and rusted and falls apart, and the driver gets out and continues on. The soul continues on, the driver of the car, right? Now, the interesting part about this is that this morning when I was rereading this was written by David Lynch, and he passed away this week. I mean, I seriously intended to put it in the talk this morning because it's there. And I just think to myself, okay, how do things like that happen? We set a law in motion. Some way, somehow, subconsciously, we set a law in motion. So I have a question today. How many incarnations has the soul had before we became aware of demonstration? How many incarnations? Some people don't even, until they come to the science of mind, they don't even know that they are cause to their own effect, right? Haven't we all experienced a large or small good in our lives and said, well, that was lucky? Or referring to the good fortune of someone else, we say, you won't believe what happened to me. Well, I'll believe anything you tell me. Because if it happened, then it is part of your truth. So every day in some way we get to empower ourselves to make conscious choices that open doors to limitless opportunities. Wayne gave the perfect lead-in to this talk. It's exactly what Mary Mannon Morrissey said when she said, we are called to live life by design, not by default. We learn how to shift our mindset and take inspired action toward a future filled with potential and promise. That's what living by design means. Instead of going about our life willy-nilly, as Ernest Holmes said, he called it indecision. And living life by default when someone or something else makes the decisions for us. There's no doubt about the availability of the law, of God, of spirit. It's there for everyone. The law is infinite. It's right where we happen to be at any given time, and it's there for our use. Ernest Holmes did say, oh gosh, why am I having so much trouble? I'm going to go back to the front. I don't know what happened to this because I designed this. And I meticulously designed this. Okay, there is a power for good in the universe available to us, and we can use it. In brackets, I put, and it uses us. We are the presence through which the presence lives. The capital P presence lives, moves, and has its being. And the key here is that God, as the law, is awaiting our recognition of it. It's as simple as that. Our God always says, yes, my child, there is this and so much more. Your possibilities are unlimited, and you have my approval. God has placed the stamp of individuality upon itself and called it you. That's the truth. That's the truth. Think about it. There is not one person in this room that looks like any other person in this room. Yes. Aren't we all uniquely amazing individuals? And the big part of that is we are God's means to be. Some years ago, I was driving to Palm Desert, and up just past Beaumont, there was an enormous billboard that said, you could read it from 3 miles away, "You are pre-approved." And I thought, oh, goody. In my mind, that's why I'm here. The closer I got to the billboard, my enthusiasm for the spiritual value of that message was lost a bit. In small letters at the bottom, it said, Chase Bank with an 800 number, meaning I was apparently pre-approved for a credit card with them. You know, we are all pre-approved. Otherwise, none of us would be here. We are demonstrating the law in action. The law also flows through us because it flows through everything. And since we exist, it must be in and through us. When we do our spiritual mind treatment or affirmative prayer, we do not put the power into our spoken word, but we let the power of the law flow through our words. And the one who most completely believes this power produces the best results. So this is, again, the law of cause and effect. I am cause to my own effect. That's why a practitioner takes no personal responsibility for the outcome of your request for spiritual mind treatment. It works through our level of receptivity to receive what we desire. To truly engage with the law of life, we must go beyond theory and apply our understanding. When we fill our minds with love, possibility, trust, and joy, we observe how the law responds by manifesting these qualities in our experience. A car wash guy or a plastic bag are practical applications of moving from theory to realization. If we can do it with a plastic bag, we can change the course of our entire lives with health, relationships, money, and careers. It's as simple as that. Remember, much of our thinking and believing operates on autopilot. It's a natural part of our humanity. To create meaningful change, on the other hand, we must take responsibility for moving beyond the default thoughts that perpetuate our current reality. Instead, we need to impress both ourselves and the creative law of life with the truth of what is possible. You know, affirmations are powerful. There's no doubt about that. However, the logical mind will often dismiss an affirmation as being unrealistic. Anybody ever have that experience? Yeah, just me. Maybe instead of starting out with I am wealthy as an affirmation, we can say I am willing to embrace wealth. I am willing. I am willing. Has big power behind it. There's a different tone to it, isn't there? I am wealthy may be far-fetched when I'm up to my eyeballs in debt. But I am willing to be wealthy. I am willing to receive love. I am willing to demonstrate the right and perfect job. They have power behind it. So let's embrace our spiritual lives with a sense of playfulness. What might we create with the spirit of love and the law of life behind it? There's no fixed answer. It's going to be different for everybody here. Instead, we're invited to play with it and see what unfolds. Stretch beyond the familiar and venture into the unknown. Often, we set our sights on goals we believe are achievable. But what if we dared to ask, pray, and move towards something entirely beyond our current understanding? We could do that. Choosing to embrace possibilities beyond our existing knowledge is a practice of radical consciousness. Radical consciousness. Opening ourselves to the limitless potential that comes from trusting in the expansive power of spirit and the law. Do we remember what brought us to this center? I do. Was it desperation or inspiration, or a little bit of both? A little bit of both. Just think how far we've come. If you're new here today, you may not believe everything you heard, but you might hear something you already believed. We are, after all, works in progress. Never forget how far you've come. Everything you've gotten through, all the times you have pushed on even when you felt you couldn't. All the mornings you got out of bed no matter what, or no matter how hard it was. All the times you wanted to give up, but you got through another day. Never forget how much strength you have learned and developed along the way. Ernest Holmes says, we are chemists in the laboratory of the infinite. What then shall we create? So today, the question is, what do you choose to create? Engage with this principle and experiment with it in your own life. Imagine the first words you spoke each day, if the first words you spoke each day were affirmations of possibility. For the next week, make it a practice to start each day with an affirmative statement. God is, therefore I am. I declare that my life is expanding in health, wealth, love, trust, and more. I am grateful for this truth now, and so it is. Let's see how this daily practice changes our experiences. And as Reverend Mike says, come back next week and let us know how you did, knowing with God all things are possible.
People get ready, there's a train coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. People get ready for the train to Jordan. It's picking up passengers from coast to coast. 'Cause faith is the key. Open the doors and board them. 'Cause there's room for all among the lovely ones. Just to save his own. Have pity on those whose chances are thinner. 'Cause there ain't no hiding place in the kingdom's throne. So don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't hear those diesels humming. You don't need no ticket, you just gave the Lord. No, you don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. No, you don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord.
Thank you.
Wow. I do like me some Jason. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you. So this is our time of conscious giving. Beverly is bringing up the basket, and I know that Reverend Mike has this beautiful treatment that he does when the money goes into the basket. But this morning, as I did a couple of weeks ago, I'd like us to just do an affirmation for ourselves. If you came prepared to put something in the basket today, please hold it in your hand. And I have mine here, and I will do this affirmation if you'll repeat after me. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously give to the vision of this center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit gives to us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
Thank you, Jason. I just want to say thanks for coming out this morning. I know the weather is what they call inclement this morning, but we're so grateful for the rain and grateful that it didn't come in a deluge like was anticipated, but came kind of gently. And there is more to come, more to follow in a little bit, and it will certainly help to put out some of the fires, certainly south of here in San Diego, that are still burning out of control. It's been a rough few weeks, like I said earlier, and I mean no disrespect to our teaching when I say something like that, because we can be spiritual and be afraid. We can be spiritual and have concerns and anxiety. We can be spiritual and still maybe worry about our loved ones who might be in a distressed circumstance because of the fires. But what I do know today is that everyone here is a blessing to the Center for Spiritual Living, Granada Hills, that we are here by right of consciousness because we have chosen to be here this morning, and it's a beautiful thing. So that being said, I want you all to be careful out on the road, because on my way in here, I noticed some very lunatic-like drivers on the freeway. And one guy hydroplaned right into the center divider up toward Thousand Oaks. And I thought to myself, where were you going in such a hurry that you had to have that experience today. And what is it that we're supposed to learn from those kinds of things? So everything is a learning experience, as we've been taught in this movement. And some of them seem awful on the surface, and yet in retrospect, there's a blessing in everything. So that being said, almost Reverend Wayne, please come here and do a closing treatment for us.
Thank you for those words, Dr. Maureen. And if you join me in this closing treatment, I invite you, if you'd like, to close your eyes once again as we go within and just know that God is the rain. God is the fire that looks like destruction. God is the rebirth of the phoenix from the flames. And I know we are one in that place of love and light. I am that light. I am that joy. I am one with infinite possibilities. And I know that I live my best life. And I just allow all my good to come into my life right here, right now. And I'm so glad for everybody online in our community that is here today. I give thanks for all the words spoken. And I give thanks for these words as my life grows and is brighter. And I'm always in that place of love and joy. And with a grateful heart, I give thanks for this gathering. I give thanks for this center. I give thanks for community. I give thanks for health and safety. And with a grateful heart, I release these words to the law, knowing it's complete and done. And together we say, and so it is.
Stand for the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as the power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live